Alright, so we're off to Downtown La Crosse. I'm not really sure what we're doing today, but we'll see. There's always something to do in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I'm just going to show you some of my favorite spots. So, join me on this ride. And into the city. Hey all you colorful sprinkles, it's Willow. This week, I'm just kind of strolling around La Crosse to see where we end up. But first, we're going to stop at this beautiful location here on Pearl Street, right across from the Expo Center. Located in the heart of downtown La Crosse, the Pearl Confectionary is like stepping into a candy wonderland. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted by the irresistible aroma of freshly made chocolates and candies. It's seriously a treat for all your senses. From artisanal chocolates to mouth-watering truffles, caramels, fudge, and more, the Pearl Confectionary has it all, and let me tell you, each treat is made with love and top-notch ingredients. What I love about the Pearl Confectionary is not just the incredible treats, but also the experience. This shop has cozy, nostalgic vibes that take you back to a simpler time. And plus, the folks behind the counter are always friendly and eager to help you find the perfect treat for any occasion. From classic favorites like candy cigarettes, wax lips, candy buttons, to retro treats like Necco wafers, Bitto honey, mallow cups, the Pearl Confectionary has an incredible selection of vintage candies, and they'll make you feel like you've stepped into a time machine. As we walk through the rows and rows of candy, we can't help but notice the tantalizing aroma of freshly made waffle cones wafting through the air. That's our cue to follow our noses straight to the ice cream shop right next door. They have the classic flavors like creamy vanilla and rich chocolate to inventive creations like Mississippi Mud and Blue Moon, and the options are endless and absolutely delicious. I used to work at a frozen yogurt place and I love the smell of fresh waffle cone. Nothing beats it. They even have chocolate dipped waffle cone if you like that as well. So I decided to go with the classic Pearl Vanilla mixed with a little bit of marshmallow and Oreo cookies in a 2-scoop ice cream cup. And of course you can't forget the whipped cream and cherry on top. Look how good that looks. I cannot wait to dig in. And dig in I did. It was gone just as fast as it was made. They had a lot of ice cream displays on the wall as well, with old ice cream tools and scoops, including a little box that said a fine health food, which I didn't think of ice cream as a health food, but sure. And before you leave, make sure you check out the freezer. They have pints and gallons in there of all your favorite flavors. The confectionery shop is not the only place attached to this ice cream shop. On the other side is a coffee shop in case you didn't have enough energy from the sugar you just ate. It's a smart idea, especially on cold winter days like today when we need something to warm up. This is the perfect place to get a hot beverage, or during the hot summer days you can get a nice cold coffee. Not only does stepping into these shops make you feel like you're taking a step back in time, but the building itself, originally constructed in 1874, holds layers of history within its walls. Expanded by the owner Vincent Schwartz in 1887 to include western bays and an upper story on its east side, it began as a furniture store and an undertaker business before transforming into the Bronson Hotel in the 1890s. Through the years, it's morphed into various establishments, serving as a bar and later a record store, and then in 1993 the Pearl emerged, envisioned as a family-friendly staple in historic downtown La Crosse. But now, with my stomach full of yummy ice cream, I'm ready to head on over to the Antique Center of La Crosse and see what kind of amazing treasures they have in store for us today. And I already know it's going to be a great day because they have their red tag sale going on right now. And as soon as we walk in, I spotted these amazing Murano glass clowns. At least the two in the back are. I'm not too sure about the one in the front. This store is huge, and I have been here before. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. But this store is huge, and I love going through it and seeing all of the treasures that they get. It's constantly changing because each section is owned by a different seller. So there's all sorts of treasures from all over. You never know what you're going to find when you walk into this place. I noticed this little stack of vinyls in the corner. I want to take a look through there, see if there's any treasures in here. Some railroad stuff. A lot of bands that I don't really care for. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's interesting. Let's see here. Oh, I love the meme that says if you put your thumb over Simon's face, it looks like he's Garfunkel's mustache, which is hilarious. With this machine, I can make a milkshake just like at the Pearl. I love that you can find the weirdest things in here. Hold up, is that Gene Belcher?
That's me now!
Heard that before.
Seriously, it looks like Gene Belcher holding Gene Belcher. Does anyone else see this? This little cabinet over here has some Care Bears, Mr. Peanut, and the California Raisins, along with some troll dolls. Look at this, they have the sign too, it says collect all 4. And if you're into collecting uranium glass, they have a whole display of it over here. Get you radioactive like you want to be. And speaking of radios, they have this old-timey radio sitting here too. They have this Wienermobile bank as well that I love, and it moves too. That's what I like the most about it, is it actually rolls. Imagine this cool nightlight at nighttime when all the owl's eyes are lit up and glowing. I love this. I had to check out this old Mickey doll because I was curious as to what it was from. I didn't think it was from the parks, and I was right. It's actually from Disney on Ice. I'm always checking the action figures. They never seem to have Street Sharks though, and I'm really trying to collect the Street Shark dolls. Those were my favorite as a kid growing up, and I just never see them anywhere. Have you ever heard of this game called Pass Out? I've never even seen Pass Out before. Whenever I see cookware, I always end up spotting some Watkins out here because, well, you know, they're located right across the river in Minnesota. And we even went to the Watkins Museum. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. It was a neat tour, and you got to see a lot of this stuff throughout the years. I feel like I've read Runaway Pancake as a kid. One of my favorite sections to look at is the postcard section because they have some older postcards from all over the world. I always like to check the Florida postcard section to see if there's any things from my hometown, and I was not disappointed today. While digging in the Florida section, I found a Parliament House postcard. Now, Parliament House was a gay resort in Florida. They also had a club attached to it later on. But yeah, finding a Parliament House postcard in the middle of Wisconsin was so unusual to me, and you can check out more information about it on my Instagram, Willow Collects. I also found a couple more postcards, but I'm going to share those at the end of this video, but they have to do with the old theme park ride that no longer exists at Universal Studios. I've heard of Star Wars and Hot Wheels before, but I've never heard of SeaQuest before. Have you ever heard of SeaQuest? Let me know in the comments if you've heard of this before, because I've never seen this. Let's see what kind of treasures we can find down here in the basement. Make sure to pay the parking meter. I'm just kidding, that's just a parking meter they have for sale. That I would call a PlayStation 2 game an antique, but they're here. On this shelf, it was really interesting to find this old Time magazine. It looked really old. In fact, The date on it said August 16th, 1937. It's amazing something lasts that long, especially made out of paper. And if 2 floors weren't enough, they actually have a 3rd floor and upstairs full of antiques worth exploring, but you can also get a good view of the whole 1st floor. Whenever I'm in an antique store, I like to look for the McCoy apple cookie jars. It's just one of my favorite things from my grandma's house, and I love seeing them out and about. Another thing I noticed that they had that my grandma also used to have was this land camera. I have the exact same one sitting on a shelf in my house. I did end up looking through all of these postcards and I didn't see ones that interested me on this floor, but I'll keep checking back because like I said, they always change. And also check it out, another one of those cookie jars. I don't know if they put up this clown shelf to tempt me, but they did, and this is amazing. I love this paper mache clown. Reminds me of the one that we saw at Dave's. This purse is made out of candy bar wrappers, and I think it is the cutest thing. I already have a purse, though, made out of Capri Sun bags, so I don't know. Do I need a bag that matches it, just made out of candy wrappers? Let me know in the comments if I should get it. Oh, and if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. That lets me know you like what I'm doing, and you'll also get notified when I make another video like this, as I do every Monday. Whenever I see Singing in the Rain, I always think of the Great Movie Ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I really miss that ride and I wish they'd bring it back. These bins were full of Pez dispensers. I am always looking for the clown ones, but I didn't see any clown ones in these bins, so unfortunately I moved on. Darling, you look marvelous. I don't think that's one of your catchphrases. Uh-huh. This neon-colored skateboard wizard poster looked really cool. I don't skateboard, so it wouldn't make it in my house, but I bet someone who skateboards would absolutely love this. If you're a fan of cereal, they have Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Who isn't a fan of cereal? They had another Wienermobile bank, but this one was a little bit beat up, so not as cool as the other one. Look at this Santa, though. He looks like a starfish. Why would they make him shaped like that? We've seen this one booth before. They have crystals, bugs, and bones, and I believe they're also at the Viroqua Marketplace. I spotted our first Howdy Doody. It was a little bit out of my price range, so I moved on, but I will take note that that is there because I might come back for it. If I owned this W.C. Fields mug, I would probably drink my coffee out of it and tell people it tastes funny and no one would get the joke. It was time to head back downstairs, but as I go down the staircase, I always feel like Norma Desmond making her descent at the end of Sunset Boulevard. It's such a neat staircase to go down. So I found some really cool stuff in the antique mall, and I actually grabbed a few postcards, which are nice. They're cheap and they're
from my home state, and I'm going to show you those in a minute. But before we leave downtown, I want to drive by one more place and show you this because people who aren't local probably don't know about this, but we have the world's largest 6-pack of beer.
La Crosse is home to Heilemann Brewery, and it's been here almost as long as the city. So this is the site of their second location. Apparently they had a former location about 4 blocks northwest of here, but this brew house, which this plaque is affixed to, is part of the original building. And right here across the street is the world's largest 6-pack of beer. Have you ever seen a 6-pack that big? Okay, maybe it's not a real 6-pack, but it's 22,200 barrels of beer. That's enough to fill 7,340,796 cans. It's definitely worth driving through the city to see. Okay, I know it's on everyone's mind. Let's check out the postcards I got at the Antique Mall. First is the Bates Motel one. That was originally a set piece that was left behind from the film, and you could actually see it in the park. You could actually go up to it and see it, and they'd take tram tours by it. It was insane. The second postcard that I got was the Jaws postcard, and I love the Jaws ride. I think it was a classic and such a loss to go to you know who. But anyway, that's all I have for you this week. Next week, I'll have something else for you as well. I hope you hit the subscribe button so you can be here next week when I release whatever video I do on Monday. So I'll see you then. Bye, Sprinkles.